Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode in our series on Axis and Allies 1914 House Rules. And in this episode, we're talking about national objectives. I try to keep this focused on just like actual national goals, like these things that they really wished that, while most of the time they did have strategic purposes. Sometimes some of them did not. Some of them were just purely idealistic or nationalistic. Notice that the IPC values that you're winning are a lot smaller than other editions. There's two main reasons for that. Because one, I didn't want to throw off the game too much by having these huge bonuses for accomplishing things. I didn't want to throw off the balance too much. And secondly, realistically, historically, even if these countries did accomplish these things they set out to do, you know, national morale is really hard in 1914 to lift up their spirits and really get that economic boost back at home. So even if they do accomplish these things, they're not getting huge bonus incomes from at home. My basis for assigning the IPC values in the national objectives is I wanted each side to have roughly the equal amount. The Central Powers do have slightly more. I believe it's like the Allies in total have 25 IPCs they can win from objectives, and then the Central Powers have 30, something like that. So to help out the Central Powers because they are a little bit on the back ropes in this game. But yeah, so my basic rules for assigning the IPC values were that essentially taking an enemy territory would reward you 2 IPCs, and maintaining or holding your own territories or an allied territory, something like that, would give you 1 IPC. So holding a territory gets you 1. So holding something that you say started with gets you 1 IPC because you just have to maintain it. But to actually take another territory, that gives you 2. And that's the basis for how I assign the bonus incomes and the rewards for the objectives. For example, we'll start with number 1. So we're going to start with Austria-Hungary. So 2 IPCs for taking Serbia. So simple right there. They took an enemy territory, that gives them 2 IPCs. That's their reward. So before I continue with the rest of the countries, in the document you'll see that there is an optional victory condition where if one alliance meets all their national objectives at the end of the round, they automatically win the game. Because honestly, if they did meet all those objectives at the end of like a round, they would just hold their positions and just call the peace treaty, and call the armistice on good terms, and that would end the game and they would win. Yeah, and you also notice in the document that I did put, just like in the other versions of Axis and Allies, I put next to each country a little their like national motto, I guess, and a little blurb about their like historical position. Like in my rules, you'll see like little italicized for like the theme. So like, for example, Austria-Hungary controls Serbia. The theme is the objective of end to Serbia. So yeah, let's continue. So Austria-Hungary motto is with united forces. So that was Serbia. We already have that one. So their next objective is if they control both Albania and Romania, that gives them 4 IPCs. And then lastly, if they control or contest all their original territories starting at the end of round 4, they get 1 IPC for that. That's national integrity, the theme of that one. And the theme for the other 2 were Balkan hegemony. Alright, so Russia, God save the Tsar. First objective, 2 IPCs if the Allies control Constantinople, so securing the Turkish Straits. So that's the Allies. So I guess quick side note, most of these objectives, to make it fun, they do clash with, by alliances. So obviously, like, one country needs this territory for an objective, but a country on the opposing side needs that territory for their own objective. But at the same time, many of these objectives are specifically national based. For example, like, Austria needs to control Romania, not Germany. Austria needs it. Germany can't take it. Germany can't take Serbia. It has to be Austria. So that does put some strain on each alliance. But yeah, but with this one is any of the allies can control Constantinople. So if Russia controls Constantinople, they get 2 IPCs for that. But, or it could be any other ally like France. Who knows? Their second objective is 1 IPC if Serbia is free. So if Serbia gets liberated, that would be 1 IPC. Another IPC, 1 IPC if Russia is not losing the war starting at the end of round 4. So essentially, if they're not meeting the conditions for revolution, the revolution rules. So if they don't go into revolution, they get 1 IPC. So suppressing the revolution, that's their IPC, their theme there. Then the last one is if no other allied units are present in any original Russian territories. So that's some national prestige, similar to the other Soviet one, where the Russians got to do it all on their own. They can't get help from the other allies, so they get 1 IPC. Okay, so Germany, Reich. So their Mittel Europa plans in the West are if 4 IPCs if Germany controls Belgium. If they control Belgium, and they can either control or contest Lorraine. Doesn't matter which one. And if the Allies don't control Holland. So it can either be neutral or controlled by Central Powers. As long as the Allies don't have it. They get 4 IPCs for those objectives. In the East, if Germany controls both Poland and Livonia, I just did that backwards. It's another 4 IPCs. And then their Mittel Africa plans, so controlling Central Africa, they'll get 7 IPCs if they control all their original African territories, Togoland, Cameroon, Southwest Africa, East Africa, and all the territories in between, pretty much, Nigeria, Angola, and Belgian Congo. So we can control all 7 of these territories, they'll get 7 IPCs. And what's next? Right. Breaking the North Sea blockade. If there are no Allied ships, surface warships in the North Sea, so zones 9 and 10, if there are no Allied warships, then there's another 2 IPCs for Germany. And then finally 1 IPC if the Germans take Paris. Okay, next up is France. Revanche. Revenge. So, 2 IPCs. If anyone knows anything about World War I, you obviously know that France wants Alsace. So 2 IPCs for taking Alsace. 1 IPC for controlling or contesting Lorraine. So if they can control it or contest it, that means they're defending Verdun. And 1 IPC for controlling Berlin, similar to the German one. And then finally in Africa, they get 1 IPC if they control Cameroon. They want that coastal access for Equatorial Africa. Okay, next up is Britain, the Pax Britannica. So, 1 IPC if there are no Central Powers capital ships on the board. So, no Austrian ship, no German ships. So as long as there's no enemy capital ships, they're good. And 1 IPC if Belgium is not controlled or contested by the Central Powers. So if Belgium's free, another 1 IPC. 2 IPCs for controlling any of the following territories, either Mesopotamia, Syrian Desert, or Transjordan. That's the Middle East oil they want to get. And then 1 IPC if they control all the Cape to Cairo Railway, so everything from Cape Town to Cairo, so all of these original territories, plus German East Africa. So they connect that line. They get one IPC for that. All right, and next up is the Ottoman Empire. So the Eternal State. 2 IPCs for controlling either Egypt or Sevastopol. 2 territories they really wanted. So if they control either of those, they get two IPCs. Another 2 IPCs if they control any of the following. Let's just say Greece, Albania, Serbia, Romania, see those conflict with the Austrians, Arabia, Anglo-Egypt, Sudan, Libya, Tunisia, and Algeria. So 2 IPCs for controlling any of those. That's reclaiming former Ottoman territories lost over the years. And then 1 IPCs if the Central Powers control or contest any of the following territories: India, Persia, Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, Tatarstan, Somaliland, Ethiopia, French Equatorial Africa, Nigeria, French West Africa, Morocco, and or Spanish Morocco. So that's a jihad uprising in Muslim territories. The Ottomans wanted the Muslims around the world to jihad against the Allies. So next up would be Italy, Italia Irredenta. So 4 IPCs for Tyrolia and Trieste. So that's uniting the Italian nationals in these territories. And then 1 IPC for controlling Albania. So that's controlling the Adriatic. All right, and then next up is the United States. 2 IPCs if there are no Central Power submarines on the board. That's the freedom of the seas, so can't be any Ottoman, Austrian, or German subs. You get 2 IPCs for the USA to make the world safe for democracy. And then 1 IPC the first time the United States captures, not liberates, captures any territory held by the Central Powers. So if the United States manages to put down a roundel on the board on an original, pretty much, territory. So that's the maintaining the integrity of the American Expeditionary Forces and national prestige. The Americans really wanted to show that they could make a real difference in the war and not just serve as British and French replacements. So yeah, if they actually manage to take something on their own, that's 1 IPC. And then 2 IPCs if any of the Allies control one of the following: Bohemia, Galicia, Mesopotamia, Syrian Desert, Transjordan, and Poland. So that would be the self-determination of nations, one of Wilson's 14 points. So yeah, that's the United States for you. And that's all the countries and their national objectives. So I hope you guys can enjoy these little rules, this little fun house rule, and add it to your own game. And spice things up. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Leave a comment, let me know what you guys think. In the description, you'll see the link for the document that has the house rules on it. And yeah, look forward to my next video. Okay, see you next time. Bye.